How's it going, you badass sexy beasts? Welcome back once again to another installment of Certified Badass, covering both basic and advanced certifications, as well as some weapon recommendations for your favorite classes. In today's episode, we'll be covering the Light Assault, which offers very little in regards to team play, but is invaluable to a strong offensive line. Coming equipped with a standard carbine, a pistol, and a very badass jetpack, the Light Assault class is the class to play if you prefer solo play over group play. In Planetside 2, verticality has a much larger impact to the game than one might suspect. Flying above the war-beaten battlefield offers the ability to bring the rain down on enemies below you while also keeping you safe from hostile ground fire. And let's admit it, having a jetpack is just freaking awesome. If you're just now starting to play Planetside 2, I'd recommend straying away from the Light Assault class until you've learned more about the game, as this class is built to be a lone wolf and doesn't offer the sheer experience point income as the medic or engineer class would provide. With that being said, let's go ahead and get you geared up to become a certified badass with the Light Assault class. The Light Assault class is probably the most difficult class to learn, much less be effective with it. I know there's not a lot to learn, jetpack and shoot, but in comparison to the medic class, you have to be a lot more effective on the battlefield in order to gain the same amount of experience points. Light Assault soldiers don't have the ability to revive allies or give out ammunition, so you have to rely on what you know best as a player of first-person shooters: aiming and pulling the trigger. Situational, spatial, and map awareness are all skills you need to master in order to be a strong fighting presence on the battlefield, lest you fall victim to other Light Assault soldiers. Your main weapon is a carbine, which offers many fighting distances for you to choose from. This is another aspect of playing Light Assault that you'll have to master, and hopefully I can guide your trigger finger into the proper direction. So, enough about the outline of the class, let's jump into your very first batch of certification points. If you've watched any previous episodes of my Certified Badass series, you'll know that my favorite one certification point to spend is on the first level of nanoweave armor. This is the same case here, but only if you're extremely new to the game. For more experienced players, I'd have to urge you stay away from nanoweave armor, as the next certification one will be of much more benefit. But back to nanoweave armor, spending just one certification point in this suit slot certification will make you tougher by one more bullet, meaning an enemy will have to hit you with one more bullet at any range in order to down you. This certification increases your base health by 100, giving you a total of 600 health and your standard 500 shields, yielding you an effective health of 1,100. This may not seem like much of a difference, but all the guns in Planetside 2 are calculated in to deal just enough damage to deal 1,000 total damage, or 1,001. Take the T1 Cycler for instance, which is the Terran Republic starting assault rifle for the medic class. It deals 143 damage per shot, and after 7 shots, it has dealt a total of 1,001 damage, which is exactly one more point of damage than you have health if you're not using nanoweave. With nanoweave equipped, the T1 Cycler will have to hit you 8 times in order to down you. On paper, it may not seem like much, but with an extremely fast-paced first-person shooter such as Planetside 2, that tiny bit will make all the difference if you're caught in a one-on-one situation. As stated previously, this should be only picked up if you're just now learning the ropes to the class or the game, as I'll be covering more advanced certifications in just a bit. The next certification I would recommend pick up is the one tool that makes Light Assault so very deadly, not only to infantry but to vehicles as well. Said tool is the amazing bricks of C4 explosives. They're pretty pricey for the first batch, costing 200 certification points, but offer far too many benefits to outweigh the cost. Fitting it into your utility slot, these bricks of explosives will clear the path for you and any ally you wish to enter. If a Max is guarding a doorway, use your jetpack to soar above his head and drop a little bit of plastic explosive his way and send him to the respawn screen. Sadly, one brick isn't enough to take down heavy armor, but we'll finish certifying that in a bit since it's a little expensive. As the Light Assault class is based around the strengths of the jump jets, let's show them a little lovin'. Grabbing 3 ranks into your jump jets will immensely increase the effectiveness of your vertical thrust and regeneration, allowing you to reach places you've probably had difficulty with before. These 3 levels will cost you a total of 310 certification points, but you'll be able to tell the difference with how powerful your jets are in both total fuel capacity as well as regeneration speed. Couple these two aspects together and you'll find yourself soaring high above the battlefield for much longer than before, or scaling walls and towers that your fellow soldiers can't reach without their stairs or pesky gravity lifts. Final recommendation for starter certification points has got to be very, very simple. A 2x reflex sight for your gun. Iron sights in Planetside 2 are very obtrusive and may cause tracking problems when attempting to follow a target as they move parallel to you. Slapping a 2x magnification reflex sight onto your carbine right from the get-go can easily help with spotting targets while aiming down the sights, while also keeping your shots on target with the center dot of the sight. This sight will give you the largest benefit and visual clearance on a target while stepping out of the warp gate or respawn room. That's where we'll stop for weapon certifications for now until you've unlocked a better gun that you'll be keeping for a while. As for the starter weapons themselves, the carbines available to the Light Assault class by default are built to be extremely adaptive while not falling into one particular strength. The Terran Republic's Track 5 carbine fires at 750 rounds per minute while dealing 143 damage per shot and boasts a very badass 40 round magazine. The Vonu Sovereignty's laser-charged Solstice VE3 fires at 698 rounds per minute, deals 143 damage per shot, and has an extremely fast reload speed. The New Conglomerate's AF-19 Mercenary deals an extremely awesome 167 damage per shot, fires at 600 rounds per minute, and has some pretty awesome accuracy to boot. These weapons are shared across both the Light Assault and Engineer class, as they're all defined as carbines. Being starter weapons, they all offer a very well-rounded weapon, but don't quite fill any particular role. That's where a diversified arsenal comes into play, and will be discussed later. To recap our starting certifications, we've got the Nanoweave armor for our suit slot for 1 certification point, some C4 explosives in our utility slot for 200 certification points, 3 levels of jump jets for 310 certification points, and a reflex sight for our standard issue carbine for 30 certification points. This culminates to a total of 541 certification points to get our light assault boots off the ground and into the firefight while keeping a vertical advantage over our bound to the ground enemies. Now that you've got a bit of equipment, let's showcase the sheer badassery that this class allows and how you as the badass can use it to its full potential. Since Light Assault is generally the first class people play, due to it being first on the list at resupply terminals, it's safe to assume everyone has some experience with how the class is built. When playing the class, you have to realize we don't have the access to fancy abilities like the medic's healing aura or the heavy assault's damage shield. Instead, we're given the gift of flight. Use this to your advantage. As standard combat goes, hostile soldiers will generally keep an eye out for targets within their viewing angle, meaning if you're above them, they won't keep an eye out for you unless they know for a fact that you are there. This is something that you'll have to notice about your prey and utilize fully to your benefit. The best example I can state is where you're assaulting a tower outpost and you use your jump jets to scale the side of the tower until you reach the top. Now that you're above where the defenders will be keeping an eye out, you're free to hunt down any targets within your reach. Verticality is your friend, and that friendship is awesome. When attacking an amp station or any large facility for that matter, you're free to use your jump jets to fly above the beaten path and ambush unsuspecting enemies, or garner an extreme firing advantage over others where you'll be able to hit them freely while keeping you shielded from incoming fire. The limits of playing as Light Assault are near boundless, as the only inhibitants you have is the terrain itself. After getting those jump jets oiled up and dirt stained, let's grab us some new weapons to replace those starter guns of ours. First and foremost, the one gun I would recommend for any player looking to be an extremely versatile Light Assault soldier has got to be the Nanite Systems NS-11C. This is a compacted version of the Combat Medic's NS-11A rifle, which offers a very wide range of attachments, as well as having a very diverse range of engagement distances. It deals 143 damage per shot, fires at 652 rounds per minute, and has a 35 round magazine with 210 rounds in the reserve. The ammunition capacity is amazing for the New Conglomerate and Vonu Sovereignty Light Assault soldiers, but is pretty normal for Terran Republic players. It's a costly 1,000 certification points, but is honestly worth it due to the adaptability for light assault soldiers engaging at close quarters or trying to pick off targets from afar. If you've tried the NS11C and it doesn't tickle your fancy, then let's go ahead and jump jet our way into the Empire-specific carbines. There will be a recurring theme with this weapons in regards to my tier 2 recommendations. Terran Republic Light Assault Soldiers, you are first. Swapping out the Track 5, we'll go ahead and pick up the T5 AMC for our tier 1 weapon. It fires slightly slower than the Track 5, but offers a much stronger fighting potential at medium range engagements with its faster bullet velocity, lower recoil, and faster reload speed, all in one package for 250 certification points. As for a tier 2 weapon, if you prefer to use the Light Assault strengths to its best, then I'd have to recommend picking up the Track 5S. This carbine closely resembles the stock Track 5, but offers 3-round burst capability, a much wider attachment array, and a slightly slower fire rate. The largest advantage this weapon gives of the stock carbine is the ability to be equipped with an Underbarrel Grenade launcher. The Track 5S will cost you 500 certification points and will not disappoint. Next on the list, we've got the Vanu Sovereignty's Light Assault Badasses. Tell Vanu to shove off with the Solstice VE3 of yours and pick up the Pulsar C as your tier 1 weapon. This carbine focuses solely on medium to long range combat with a stronger bullet, better aimed accuracy, higher recoil, and a slightly slower reload speed. This carbine will cost you 250 certs and will surely be a favorite for those looking for a harder hitting weapon. As for a tier 2 weapon, I'd have to say the Solstice Sf. This carbine is very similar to the stock Solstice VE3, fires slightly slower, has a burst fire mode, and the ability to have an Underbarrel Grenade launcher equipped. This weapon will cost you 500 certification points. On to the new conglomerate's Light Assault Arsenal. Handing in that AF-19 mercenary of yours, we'll be picking up the Razor GD23 as our tier 1 weapon. This gun features the same damage model of the AF-19, but comes with better aimed accuracy, a faster reload speed, faster bullet velocity, and a much wider selection of attachments. The Razor will cost you a total of 250 certification points. As for our tier 2 weapon, it's once again the S variant of the stock weapon. The Gauss Compact S will be your weapon of choice for our tier 2 weaponry, keeping that strong bullet damage, a slightly slower fire rate, but has that juicy Underbarrel Grenade launcher. The Gauss Compact S will cost you 500 certification points to unlock. Now, I'm sure some of you are questioning my selection of weapons, and that's okay. Why didn't I choose the LC2 Lynx, the Serpent VE92, or the GD7F? They're all fast-firing carbines, but that's about it. While fighting at longer ranges, they quickly lose their luster, and all have a very long reload that will more than likely get you killed. They're good for what they do, but they're far too specified for the CQC role to be good in anything but. As for my choices on the S variants of weapons, it's solely due to the ability to have an Underbarrel Grenade launcher equipped. This one attachment far outweighs having a laser sight or forward grip, as it yields the potential to kill multiple enemies with one single pull of the trigger. As standard, you'll be given 2 Underbarrel Grenades. Coupled with the ability to fly, the grenade launcher becomes an absolute beast. If you're curious as to how you can be extremely effective in close quarters without a blisteringly fast firing carbine, then I've got the answer for you. Pump action shotguns. These weapons are just insane once put in the hands of an experienced light assault soldier. Having the potential for a one-shot kill, the pump action shotguns will be your best friend when engaging enemies in close quarters. Currently available, there are 2 types of pump action shotguns we can choose from. One features a wider pellet spread in favor of more pellets, while the other one does the exact opposite, a tighter spread with less pellets. Both feature a one-hit kill potential regardless. The one I'd recommend picking up for you, CQC Fanatics, though, are the tighter spread versions. These are the TRS-12 Uppercut for the Terran Republic, the Phobos VX-86 for the Vanu Sovereignty, and the GD-66 Claw for the New Conglomerate. Holding our shiny new weapons, let's finish off with some advanced certifications to help round out our badass light assault. For our suit slot certification, picking up 3 levels of the ammunition belt, which will yield us 3 more magazines for both our primary and secondary weapons. With this, we'll be able to hold our ground for much longer without having to retreat or find an engineer or resupply terminal to keep on the pressure, all for the low price of 111 certification points. Finishing off the final 2 levels of our jump jets will cost us another 650 certification points, but will be well worth the extra boost in our jetpack. Grabbing a second brick of C4 will cost another 500 certification points and will allow us to take out a tank of any type on our own. Coupled with the fact that we can frickin' fly makes C4 drops that more menacing. Combine all these certification points and you'll be spending another 1,261 certification points. After equipping our soldier, let's finish off with our weapons. If you had picked up a tier 1 weapon, such as the TR's T5 AMC, the VS's Pulsar C, or the NC's Razor GD23, then grab High Velocity as our ammunition type for 100 certs, a forward grip for our rail slot for 100 certs, a 2x reflex sight for 30 certs, and a compensator for our barrel slot for a final 100 certification points. To fully load up a tier 1 weapon, 330 certification points will be spent on attachments alone. This build is to fully take advantage of the long-range capabilities of these weapons while helping maintain the hefty recoil. If you had unlocked a tier 2 weapon such as the TR's Track 5S, the VS's Solstice Sf, or the NC's Gauss Compact S, then pick up the suppressor for our barrel attachment for 100 certs, soft point ammunition for 100 certs, an underbarrel grenade launcher for 100 certs, and finally, an infrared night vision scope for 30 certs. The suppressor will keep us off the minimap when firing at our prey, and generally keep us off the radar of any enemies nearby. Soft point ammunition will help keep us our bullet damage for longer distances, which will help when perched high above the battlefield. The infrared night vision scope has got to be the best sight available for a close to medium range fighter, as the infrared highlight on enemies is just amazing when fighting either at night or in the shroud of smoke. As for the underbarrel grenade launcher, this attachment is just far superior to a forward grip or a laser sight, as it allows us to extend our killing potential much further. If the fact that you're shooting at frickin' grenades out at enemies wasn't enough to pick this up, then hopefully the ability to drop a max and 2 direct impacts with these grenades is enough to garner an unlocking. Personally, this is my favorite loadout to run while playing Allied Assault. This setup will cost 330 certification points. Learning the vantage spots and facilities, using your jetpack for both escapes and assaults, and mastering your C4 drops will turn you into a certified badass for the light assault class. Like I've said before, there's no super fancy healing or damage shield, but using our ability of flight can easily turn a daunting fight into a heck of a cert farm and killing spree. This class isn't particularly a team player and will surely find a spot in the heart of a lone wolf player who prefers to write his own story than follow the crowd. I hope you sexy beast enjoyed this video, or at least found it helpful, and if you did, please give it a mega super awesome big ass thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs it down and let me know what I can improve upon. What's your favorite weapon to run with the light assault? Let me know in the comment section below. Want to be kept up to date on all the latest happenings with me and the channel? Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. If you would like to see more videos like this one, then go ahead and subscribe. It is completely free.